Welcome back. We'll continue our focus on the return of the Taraba State Governor and his bid to return or to resume as governor of that state. Well, let's go over now to Emmanuel Bello, who is the Commissioner for Information in Taraba State. Morning, and thank you for joining us. He joins us via phone. Well, you've heard a lot that has been said about the governor's return. What can you tell us now? Because, I mean, is it true that the deputy governor was prevented from receiving the governor?
Well, that's not true. Thank you very much. It's not true that the deputy governor was bad receiving his boss at the airport. He was there at the airport, and of course, on that day, because of the crowd and all that, of course, it became a very tumultuous kind of situation with the kind of crowd that was there. But there was anybody barring anyone from seeing anyone. It's completely not correct.
All right. We also do hear that the Speaker of the House of of the State House of Assembly rejected the letter of the governor to resume. The previous guest did say the Speaker might have suspected or doubted the authenticity of that letter. What can you tell us about that?
Well, the action of the Honorable Speaker of the House of Assembly is entirely one that I'm sure in the days to come and in the weeks to come, everyone is going to have to consider in the light of what the constitutions have said. And I think the provisions of the constitutions are very clear on the matter. And we're going to allow pundits and the rest of this country to ask themselves clearly if what his actions or his utterance are in keeping with the spirit and the letters of our constitution. The framers of our constitutions are some of the finest minds in the world. And if they have clearly stated how this thing should be done, and then someone comes and says just because of his parochial, political ambition, begins to make those kind of comments, then it is left for Nigerians to wake up and begin to ask themselves if this is correct and if this is right. But I believe that as a country, we are great people, we're a good country, we are people that do the right thing. In fact, we love, take Taraba for instance. We got it right from day one as far as the constitution was concerned. We have always wanted to be guided by the constitution. Now, after 21 days of the governor's absence, the deputy governor, His Excellency Alhaji Garba Umar, was made the acting governor. At that time, nobody raised any eyebrow, no one raised any questions. But what is wrong now that the same constitution, we try to apply the same constitution, and someone feels that this is not the time that the constitution should work. At one time the constitution was correct, at another time the constitution is wrong. So I'm sure the whole country, Nigerians, everywhere in the world, people of goodwill are going to in the coming days ask themselves what is going on in Taraba and ask the valid questions. What is wrong with the constitution now? If it was right the first time and addressed a very major problem then, why is it not invoked now? And why is it that now that it's invoked, somebody is saying that no, it's not right? And of all the people in the world, the speaker should know the constitution more than anyone. He should have read the document. He should know the right thing to do. What happened yesterday, his utterances yesterday, was contrary to everything that is known in our constitution. How can you say that the governor transmitted the letter? You have to say that you are doubting the authenticity of the signature. You came up to say again that, well, no, the governor must address the public, must address the House of Assembly before you agree that he is the governor. Those things are totally, and everyone who is reading between the lines knows that this is nothing but politics, the crudest form of his type at work.
Well, anyway, I think, Mr. Emmanuel Bello, the truth about it all is that not a good time for you to be a commissioner going through all of these hassles. But again, your job will be a lot easier if you would, as a member of the State Executive Council, also just show some bit of evidence or proof to the people to actually assuage all of this worry. Why hasn't your office, as the Information Commissioner, been able to get some visuals out, at least to the people, if it's not even a live telecast of the governor? Perhaps that would have helped matters.
No, so let us put this in perspective, my colleague. And actually, you say I'm really happy doing my job as the Commissioner of Information Privacy. I have no problem with it because I've got the Constitution on my side. The Constitution did not talk about showing visuals. The Constitution did not say he must attend somewhere. In a matter of time, the governor had a jet lag. He came back. Everybody knew he was back. He came back to the country. Recently, he was visited by Nyako. And everything was, the governor Nyako of Adamawa State. The governor is here with us. What the Constitution says he should do is what he's done. transmitting a letter. Because the Constitution, let us do what is right first. Let us deal with that aspect. And every other aspect about the governor talking to the public, meeting people or coming out to visit anyone, those are not constitutional matters. Those are things that in time, as a matter of time, of course, the governor will do all that. And in any case, governance is not about that. Governance is not about, just providing evidences of somebody's availability. Those are not the issues. Let us do what is constitutional. We rule this government. Government is run by the Constitution. What does the Constitution say? And I'm saying that in the coming weeks, I'm sure Nigerians are going to have an interesting conversation, an interesting dialogue about what the Speaker of the House of Assembly here has done vis-a-vis to the Constitution he has sworn to uphold. So I'm saying that it's a beautiful thing, of course, to get the governor out to talk to people and everything. And in a matter of time, of course, that will happen. It's not about let what the Constitution say that as soon as he's back, he transmits a letter. He didn't say that as soon as he's back, he gives he talks to the
okay, all right, okay. Can you also help us here? You did tell us that he was actually suffering from jet lag, perhaps some hours, over 72 hours now. When do you think His Excellency Governor Dambaba Suntai can actually address his people and the nation?
My brother, this is just a matter of time.
How much of time is that matter of time here?
We were consistent in saying that someday the governor will return. He eventually returned. When the governor was away, I know I had the job of telling the whole world that the governor will come back, and it's like, well, what is he talking about? I was on your program, and people decided me. They said, well, but he is back now. The same people who are doing this are the people who say that he will be back. The same people who are doing this are the same people that say that he is dead. You needed to see the turnout of the crowd in this state. You will know that a lot of people had a lot of aspiration, hope to see their governor. And he's back now. There's joy in the land. Everybody is happy. And then suddenly this. But that is not the problem. We are not even responding to that because we have already done what is constitutionally right. The governor has transmitted a letter to the House of Assembly. The part of the House accepted that. In fact, the fact that the Speaker actually even attested to the fact that, well, he's having doubts about the letter, shows clearly that he knows about the letter, the existence of the letter. We don't even need a debate on that. The House of Assembly is not supposed to sit down and debate on it, just like the majority leader says, Honorable Albasu says. We do not need any debate on the letter. He has transmitted the letter. The governor is back. He's the governor of Taraba State, and he's going to carry out his duties as the governor of the state. That is something. The country is run by the Constitution. If we're going to run this country on the grounds of emotions, on the grounds of politics, on the grounds of our parochial desires, on the grounds of our fear and our concern, then we're not going to go for. That is why we have a Constitution that will guide us. And the Constitution clearly says what the governor should do as soon as he returns. And he's done that. I don't even know why anybody is debating that. The Constitution even says that, for instance, the House is supposed to debate the transmission of the letter. If they have any doubt, that can be trashed up later. But for now, the governor transmitted the letter. He's back. He doesn't even need to beg.
Mr. Bello, if I may cut in here, you've been talking about the Constitution, what the Constitution says, and you talked about the joy of the people of Taraba State. I don't think that there's any human being alive who will be happy that somebody died in an accident. I'm sure that people wanted the governor to recuperate. However, there are still questions. Do you acknowledge that there are questions about the state of health of Governor Dambaba Suntai? Mr. Bello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
If you can hear me, I'm asking if you acknowledge that there are questions, even from well-meaning people, about the state of health of Governor Dambaba Suntai. And we're not talking about his physical state, the one we can see. A host of people are worried about his mental state of health. Are you worried or concerned that there are people who hold doubts as to his mental state of health?
Well, we have come a long way in the kind of doubts and the kind of concerns and the kind of worries that I have to respond to. The first kind of worries I had to respond to was that the governor was dead even in the first place. Well, we got over that. He's not dead. He's alive. We got over that, and then some people say that, well, he's a vegetable. I mean, all the evidence we are there that this man is not a vegetable. And all sorts of things. Now, the other concern is that, of course, the governor is in his right senses. All the people that have gone to see the government, including myself, know that this man is in the right senses, call people by their names, understand people, and in a matter of time.
Mr. Bello, if I may cut in here, you have given, you say you have seen him, you've spoken to him, and you can confirm, at least personally to yourself, that he is in his right state of mind. But I mean, a host of people have not had the privilege, and they're saying, can we at least also have the privilege of having him address us to confirm to ourselves that he truly is in his right state of mind and he's not being tele-guided? Don't you think that that is a very simple request?
It's a very simple request, and I'm telling you that as a matter of time, I want to do first and first. What has that got to do with what he has to do with transmitting a letter to his son? Well, of course, in a matter of time, everybody is going to tell for himself. If this is the governor, they've always known. But first and first, like I say again, we must go back to the basic, and that is the fact that we must do what is constitutionally okay. I'm not going to say that. Because if the constitution has said otherwise, we have to, of course, certify his mental alertness. We have to certify that he's strong enough. If the constitution has said all that, of course, then we'll be bound by this. The constitution said that as soon as the governor returns, everyone saw him returning. Of course, a lot of people made all sorts of things about the fact that he was head down from the plane and all that. And I'm telling myself, this is the man that has been down and out for 10 months, and then he comes to over 50, and then he has to endure a trip of 4 hours and 10.
All right, Mr. Bello, we get the point you've made. We have to thank you very much indeed for speaking with us today on Sunrise Daily. Okay, then we're bringing it back here. We're joined now by Eze Nwagu, who is the convener, Say No Campaign Nigeria. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you. Good morning.
Well, you heard what the commissioner said about the governor's return. First of all, he dismisses so many things, first and foremost. Where do you like to start? He says the governor's returned and he's going to continue his functions as governor.
Well, I think the thing to say is that it's first not correct to say that the governor returned. It's to say that the governor was brought back. And so when we say he was brought back, that would be the correct thing to say. He talked about tumultuous crowd. He said there was a tumultuous crowd that received the governor in Jalingo. And I know that Channels has reporters in Jalingo. If you don't have reporters in Jalingo, I know that there are other media that has reporters in Jalingo. Just like we saw the footage of his return at the airport. All that needed to be seen is the tumultuous crowd in Jalingo and the governor. Perhaps, no matter how tired he was, people have prayed for you. People are excited to see you return. All that is required, simple issue, is, guys, I'm back. Thank you for your prayers. I need to take a rest for a while, and then we can then have a conversation later. That has not happened. And all this drama, it's something that we have gone through. Holding on to legalistic ties is something that we do when it is convenient. Remember in 2010, we played it until we invented doctrine of necessity. We had to Save Nigeria group. We had to put pressure. And as we were doing Save Nigeria, there were other people who were arguing that